Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
I see my screen, Prabhu. How are you?
I'm not too bad, Prabhu. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Glad to hear it, Prabhu. Glad to hear it.
Yeah. I see my screen.
Yeah, I can see your screen with the Maha Mantra.
Yeah, wow, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it, Prabhu.
Okay, we'll start with small kirtan and then we'll continue. Time is, yeah. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Naam Sankirtan ki, Samved Bhaktin ki. Hare Krishna. Welcome you all to our session on Discover Yourself. We have been discovering many things in this world, but we get very less time to discover our own self. Thank you all for joining to this session. And this is actually last session for 6 weeks of Discover Yourself session. We have completed 5 sessions and we will discuss actually the first part of session 6. And next week we will go on to the second part of this last session. So we'll have a quick recap on what we have discussed in the last 5 sessions. Just synopsis, very brief. I hope you all can see my screen. And before I start, I'll say you, if you have any questions, please keep it with you. At the end, we will discuss it. Or if you want, you can type it in the chat box so that we can discuss, or you won't forget your questions in the middle. All right. And let's start. Before going that, let's chant some prayer. Om Jnana-तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्ति। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. I welcome you all again. Let's see. So the question here is, if God is one, then why we have so many religions, isn't it? So in the first session, we discussed about the spirituality and science, what the science is and what does spirituality mean. And at the end, we concluded that we wanted to be a spiritual scientist. It means what? We don't have to believe blindly. However, we can use our mind, intelligence through scriptures and science to go towards next step. We had a primary question that science is searching for a question how this origin came into existence, and that origin, how do the living entity came into existence. These are two primary questions which we discussed, and even science is searching for that thing. And a spiritualist search for the same thing as well. How the creation happened, who God is, who am I, and how are we related, all these things. And then we went through some commonalities and differences between the science and scriptures. Actually, we see that both start with faith. Science has also some faith. They say as assumptions and they prove it. A similar way, scriptures, we have to have faith on the scriptures, and then we can see what scripture says to us. Then we went through some theistic theory and atheistic theory, where we saw how some of the scientists who don't believe in God say something. Still, there are many scientists who believe in God. And what they say. We went through Newton and all those theories. This was our session 1, which we did nearly 6 weeks back, because the last week, due to some problem, I could not have the session. And the second session, we saw getting eyes to see God, because when we see something about or learn something about God, we wanted to see him, how he looks like. But to see him, we need the eyes to see. And then we discussed about the 3 ways of acquiring knowledge. How can we get knowledge? The 3 ways, what says is, in any aspect, whatever the knowledge in this world you want, you should have the three aspects. Either it should be a direct sense perception. Sometimes people say, I see, I believe. If I don't, I won't. That's the first thing. But that has some problems as well, because there are many things we can't see, but we believe as well. Like mind, we can't see our mind, but we believe. Even if you see, without the help of a mirror, we can't see our eyelids. It covers our eye, but we can't see it. And then we went to a second theory called as theory based on perception, or we call it as Anuman Pramana. It means what? There are some analogy. We say okay and prove it. In fact, let's suppose the science, we understood that okay, there's a galaxy, there is a Milky Way, or we have 9 planets, or many things. We haven't seen it, but as science proves it, so we understand it. It's kind of mathematical as well. We can assume something and we believe, okay, it's correct. It's not necessary that everything you should be seeing or experiencing, then only believing. That is called as Anuman Pramana, or theory based on perception. And then we talked about Sabda Pramana, that is basically hearing from higher authority, bona fide authority. And that is the one that actually has dominant from these 3. So when we hear from authority, it's like we take an example of a manual in the car. When we buy a car, we get a manual of the car, how the things operate, or where the things are in the car, where is the how to open my bonnet, or how can I fill the oil, or how can I put the water, or check everything over there. So in that case, we don't go to the brand of the car, we just open the manual and see where it is. And this is called as Sabda Pramana, just by hearing from the authority. The authority, the manufacturer of the car, he has given us manual, and that speaks everything about the car. In a similar way, scriptures are our authority, from where we can understand it. And we discussed about 4 defects of the first 2. That is sense perception and theory based on perception. We have 4 defects. That is what is called as imperfect senses. As we are imperfect, our senses are imperfect. Our senses cannot penetrate to see anything. It has some limitations. Then we discussed about we are always illusioned, and we are tend to commit mistakes. In every aspect of our life, we are actually making mistakes. As being said, by making mistakes, we actually grow up and know more and more, isn't it? And Thomas Edison says there are 10,000 ways to fail while creating a bulb, isn't it? And there are so many logical conceptions given by our scientists as well. And then the last and very important thing is that we people in today's world have a cheating propensity. We don't like anyone, or maybe our neighbor, to go more than us. That is called a cheating propensity. We always try to cheat someone in every respect. These are the 4 defects for acquiring knowledge from our senses or through theories. However, the Pratyaksha Pramana, sorry, the Sabda Pramana, from bona fide authority, they doesn't have this imperfection. And in the last session, in the third session, we discussed about how can we, the Vedas, how it gives us the privilege to the humanity. Then we discussed about the similarity and differences between a human being and animal. Very important point. It's ahar, nidra, bhaya, maithuna. So we human being and animal, they do both things. Ahara, we eat. Nidra, we sleep. Bhaya, we fear, and then maithuna, we mate. In a similar way, the animals do the same thing. They sleep, they mate, they fear, and they eat. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These are the four things. And animals do, even we do. But as a human being, there is special quality that we have an intelligence by which we can know about our own self. The animals, they cannot inquire about Brahma Jigyasa. They cannot inquire about the spiritual thing. But human being can do it. Then we understood about the real problem and the relative problem. Real problem is what? Real problem is a problem for whole community, not just one. It's common to everyone, like birth, death, disease, and old age. It's common to everyone. Then we
Your
understood.
sir, your voice is little bit breaking, I think.
Is it
Yeah, little bit breaking.
okay? Let me a bit more sound. Might be okay. Let's try and see. And then we understood the relative problem. Relative problem is basically it's only to me or to some other persons. Like some persons struggling with job, someone struggling with their relationship, someone struggling with something else. So that is relative to the person to person. The real problem is actually common to everyone, and we cannot avoid it. That's a real problem. And then we understood about some solution, like things: stop death and real solution. Stop death was we are getting older. However, I go to beauty parlor and then I do some massage and all this ointment in my face so that I look young. But actually, from inner, I'm dying. I'm getting older and older. But that is called a stop death. You are looking like young, but actually, in the behind, you are getting older and older. And the real solution is go to back to spiritual world where there is no more problems. Real problem. There is no more birth. There is no more death. There is no more old age. There is no more disease. That is what scriptures gives us. Then we understood about the faith in Vedas. It's not a blind faith, it's a proper faith which comes from a disciplined succession. Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavata gives us. And then we discuss an important point in this way, as the Vedas, they gives us a lot of things. It gives us Ayurveda. It gives us yoga system, Anjali Yoga. And it gives us Vedic maths. However, we take it for our need. But when it comes to understanding more about God, we'll stop there. Whatever you want, we grasp it, and best things we take it away. That is where we fail. And then we discussed about what are the Vedas, the four Vedas, who wrote it, Vyasadeva, and why it came. Because in earlier ages, the people, they used to hear it and they remember everything. But now, because we cannot understand in one go, so that's why the Vedas are there written in a book format, so that we can read again and again and understand it. Right. And the fourth session we went to is the science of soul. And we understood that we are actually not just matter, we are spirit soul. And then we went through the 6 changes of living entity, how it goes, how from birth it goes, it come into existence, it reproduce, this goes to old age, and then there are 6 changes for living being. And then we understood about the scientific types of existence. And then we understood about reincarnation. Reincarnation is not a myth, it's actually a fact. And we understood that because of reincarnation, many persons have phobias that comes from their past lives. many persons can remember few things very well because of their past lives. We took very nice examples from scientists, and a scientist he's actually doing research on the reincarnation, and he has done nearly more than 3,000 cases now, as of now. And in his blog, you can go and read it. It's really commendable. He has gone through extreme cases for reincarnation thing stuffs. And our scriptures is the same thing. And then we understood about the differences between soul and God. Soul is actually limited. However, it's eternal. The God is unlimited and eternal. And we'll actually go on to God with more detail in today's lesson. And then we discussed about the benefits of knowing about soul in our everyday life. So when we know the real thing that we are actually soul, we act accordingly towards our enlightenment of next life. And then the previous chapter session we discussed about the substance and shadow. It means what? The substance is the spiritual world, and the shadow is the material world. The substance is spiritual soul, spirit soul, and the shadow is body. We think ourselves as body, but actually we are soul. And then we understand about the spiritual happiness and material happiness. Spiritual happiness is unlimited, blissful, but material happiness comes and goes, and there are distress in between. And then we understood about the spiritual relationship, and shadow is material relationship. In the spiritual world also, we have relations with, like, with God as parents, as a lover, as a friend, as a servant. Here, the same in the material world, we are servant in our office. We have parents, we have kids, so we love them, and then relationship goes as material as well. However, the material things is temporary, and substance is actually always is eternal. As if you stand facing sun, you can't see your shadow. If you go around, you can see your shadow. So if you go towards spirituality, spiritual life, then shadow goes away. And today's session will start with God is one, then why so many religions? This is actually a very interesting topic. And this is the last topic because as we have come through a long way up now, we have understood many things about Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, what they teaches us about the human life, what the goal of human life is, and how it comes as if God is one, then why so many religions? Why are we serving so many things in our daily life? And why these are created? So in the part 2, we'll go into more detail in another part. So here today, actually, just before starting, I'll tell you, don't be sentimental, or just take it as what scripture says. If you have any questions, we can discuss it. There is no problem, but the session is not meant to criticize anyone, any religion. It's about understanding the religion in a more depth way, what scripture gives us, right? So again, from these many religions, we need to understand that how can we choose religion irrespective of our objective criteria, not whimsically or by any false theory, just by applying our own mind and logic, and we can say it, right? So before going to that, I'll say about the 4 eternal truths what Bhagavad Gita gives us. It says, I'm not everything, means what I'm saying is myself or body or the soul, not everything, the God exists. Bhagavad Gita 2.2 and 10, chapter 10, 12 and 13, it's been explained here. And the next point is the body is not all in all. We discussed this in first session that soul and so that here this body is not actually everything. The soul exists within us, because we discussed that a body is actually dead matter. Because of the consciousness, and that consciousness is soul, we move, we walk, we do everything. And we took an example of a person is lying dead, everything is there. The body is lying, and he has got hand, he's got eye, he got ears, he got legs, but still he can't move a single inch because the consciousness has gone out of the body, and that consciousness is called as soul. That Bhagavad Gita gives the answers to this is from 2.12 and 2.20. In fact, in a chapter 2, it's elaborated in a more detail as well. And then we understood the third point is the life is not all in all. There is incarnation exists. So this life, we think that, okay, it's everything. It's not everything. There is a next life. And we discussed on incarnation in our 5th session in a very elaborate way. However, if someone has joined today for the first time and if you have any questions, let me know. I'll share that YouTube link. You can watch it by your own time. And the fourth truth is this world is not all in all. We have a spiritual world as well, and that we discussed in shadow and substance. Shadow is substance, the spiritual world, and substance is this material world. Having said this, let's see. So we have so many religions. We have Christianity, we have Hinduism, we have Islam, Jainism, Buddhism, and so many things. So what is the correct way to choose? Which way will you choose? That's today's topic. And I'll stress again that don't take it in a wrong way or in a sentimental way. We are just trying to understand what scripture says from every point of scriptures, right? So I'll put some slides here where we will say what are the objective criteria of choosing a religion from a supermarket of religion. There are so many religions, and every time we see, every some 100 years, we get a new religion as well. And why it happens, we'll try to understand today. All right. So as I mentioned, the first point is that all religion, what we see, are bona fide. There is no wrong in any of the religion. And the second is that what are the objectives, criteria of choosing a religion, not sentimental, right? I am stressing more on this point because we know this point we start thinking about in a sentimental way because I am following this religion and how, why, what. So that is how we need to understand from a critical way today. And then which religion is choose from the supermarket of religions? If you are asked to choose some religion, then what you want to choose it? And what you want to choose is by the facts and the figures from all the scriptures. All right. So let's start it. So these are the background of today's sessions. We'll be going to start the session now. So there are 3 simple objective criteria to choose from the vastness and the depthness of religion, how the revelation of truth comes up, how truth are being revealed to a persons. The scriptures is so vast and goes in so depth, but we need to understand that how much it is being revealed, truth is being revealed in this religion. And the second point is that the different platform of worship. What are the different platforms of worshiping gods? And the third point is the essential principles of all religion. So these are the 3 main objectives we'll teach today. And the fourth one we discuss is who is God. Once we have gone through this 3 simple objective criteria, and then we'll see who God is. So it might come to us, that there are so many confusion, there is so many contradictions, when each religion are fighting with each other today in today's world. Why it's happening, right? So these 3 will give us answer, and then we'll see who God is or who is God. Let's see the first one, revelation of truth. So every religion agrees that God is supreme person. We'll come to this point. That every religion agrees, and in Islam, they agree there is some superior Allah. Even in Christianity, it agrees. Even in Hinduism, it agrees. Even in Buddhism, it agrees. Every religion agrees that God is supreme person. However, every religion say a different way about God, but everyone agrees on the point that God is supreme person. Every religion agrees that God is great and He is the object of love and He is almighty truth. And even everyone says that He is not limited to time and space. As Jesus Christ claimed to be a son of God in the Bible, Prophet Muhammad claims to be a prophet of God in Quran. Right. I hope this is clear as of now. And the important point is in each religion, how much it is being revealed. That's our first point, revelation of truth. So let's see. So in Holy Bible, it's being said that for whosoever shall call the name of the God shall be saved. It means that there is some supreme power, isn't it? That's why it's being said that Jesus is saying that whomsoever you call the name of the God shall be saved. So anyone who calls the name of the God, the person is being saved. And then it's been explained further, saying that our Father, which art in the heaven, hallowed by the name. It means again, there is some persons, namely, the name can be of a person. So there is supreme persons whose name is there. And then it being said, this is at the end, it says, there is so much I have to tell you, but you cannot bear it now. So this is the limitation. This much was revealed. What this is saying here, that due to the time and circumstances of the time, this is saying there is so much I have to tell you. However, you won't be able to bear it now. That is why the limitation comes up there. And Jesus didn't want to see. Imagine Jesus Christ. He was being said that he is a son of God, and he wanted to spread about the message of God. He was crucified in a very pathetic way. He was nailed down in his life. He was nailed down his hands and legs. We have all seen it. Because he wanted to spread the message of God, he was being in this such trouble. And that's why he told that there is so much I have to tell. However, because of our consciousness, we could not grasp it. That's why I can't say everything to you. Let's see what Quran says. Quran says, chant 99 names of Allah. That's what Islam says. And even this is the Ruh, Mujarrad, Jism, Khuda, and Jannah. These are been description of body, soul, God, and heaven. It means that something superior is there from this material world. And what Hinduism or Vaishnavism says, the Vishnu Sahasranam says in the Mahabharata that Krishna has his form, he is beautiful. He has picked up feather in his, and then his cloth is yellow. This is how it's described in Vishnu Sahasranam. And then in Kali Santarana Upanishad, it's being shared that chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the deliverance for this Yuga. So we could see that three main bigger religion today: Islam, Christianity, and the Sanatan Dharma. Actually, it is Sanatan Dharma. I'll come to the point what Sanatan Dharma is, the later part. So, three of these, it's being said that we have to chant the name of Lord. Maybe the different way. They say it Allah, and they say Christian, Christ, or here we say as Krishna. These are the three ways we understood that actually the purpose of human life is to chant the name of Lord. Maybe if you are following Islam, we can chant the name of Allah. If you are following Christianity, we can chant the name of Christ, and in a similar way. Even in one place, Krishna purpose says that Christ is the different way to call Krishna. Here I put a slide here. It says, we discussed the same thing. Many religions says God is great, We have to love God, and God is the Almighty. But the limitation comes up here. What is that? How God is strongest, no one answers. How he is the most knowledgeable, no one answers. How he gives loves to his devotees, accepts love from them, no religion answers. However, we can get this answer strongly from Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. That is how the existence of Sanatana Dharma comes up. I'll say you in the next slide how and how long the Sanatana Dharma is and how long Islam and Christianity is. We'll come to that point. But the important point here is because of the limitation of the people or the persons, depending on the time and circumstances, that has been limited. As we discussed, Krish says that I have a lot to tell you. However, we won't be able to understand it. The three main questions comes here is how God is strongest, how God looks like, how God abode is, how he is the most knowledgeable, how he is the most strongest, most strengthest, more renunciate. No other scriptures completely clear it. That because of, as we discussed earlier. In a similar way, we won't find these answers in other religion, or sometimes the people are confused for these answers. How, if you say the God is great, even the Bible says, I'm the Son of God, but who God is? That's not being clearly said because it says already that, I can't say everything because you won't be able to bear it now. However, Bhagavad Gita clearly explains about that strongest person, right? And there is a nice verse in Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, and I missed to put a slide, I think. So let me chant. If you can chant with me, or let me chant verse, and then I will say you what Krishna says about this information, like how he is knowledgeable, how he is strongest, how the abode looks like. He says, "Jnanam te ham savijnanam idam vakshasmi asistah yaj gyatva neha bhuyan anyaj gyatva avam avashyasti." What does it mean? Krishna is saying to Arjuna, 7th chapter, I shall now declare you full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numerous. But what does that mean? Material as well as spiritual. By knowing this, nothing further shall remain for you to know. So Bhagavad Gita says that I shall tell you the information by knowing which there is nothing more to be left for you to know. And Jesus Christ saying there that because of your limitation understanding, I won't be able to tell you further things. That is how Bhagavad Gita says. This is just one verse, but if we go deeper in Bhagavad Gita, we will have simple amount of this information about this. However, we will try to get more of this today as well. The next is, the Bible says, love the God. And Islam says, complete surrender to the will of God. And Bhagavad Gita says, abandon all religions and surrender unto me. Me means God. Sarva dhamma parityaja mamekam saranam braja tam tvam sarva papebhyo mokshasmi ma sucha. And Jesus Christ says that, surrender to me, I will help you to go to the back to Godhead. But at the time we didn't realize that. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that if you surrender to me, I will take care of all your sins. I will make you free from all your sinful activities and other sins. Right. So that is how Bhagavad Gita speaks more about clarity. It gives more information about everything. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see a whole description about how this creation has came up. And that we will discuss in the next one. So these are the main three questions which the scriptures doesn't either gives clarity or somehow it's been confused. What does God do? How his abode looks like? What about his form? How it looks like? That it doesn't give. But when we see Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am the one. So we can see how beautiful he is. Even in 11th chapter, he showed his form to Arjuna, his gigantic form as well. Right. Now the next point is that how much it is being revealed. So every religion, it is being revealed in a part and part, and that is actually depends on the evaluation of our consciousness. How much we can grasp it, that is how it is described. How much consciousness is being purified, how much we are purified, that because in Srimad Bhagavatam it explains, when we purify our own self by chanting the holy name, God start revealing us more and more why it is being said. I'll give a small example on that. Suppose you have a friend, like maybe some example that you are working in your office and you got a new colleague beside you, right? And he had just joined yesterday, and today you have just become a hi hello friend. Do you think that you will be revealing your secrets to him, like where do you live, or how much you earn, or how much you spend, or how much you do everything? No. However, gradually when you associate with him, okay, from tea you go start going to lunch and you start going to work, some walk, everything, then you can speak to him about more of your secret things as the friendship grows on. In the similar way, the scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are persons. They are Krishna himself, they're God himself. When we associate with them in that way, they start revealing us that fashion. So as we associate, or so as we talk with them, they start revealing us more and more and more. Right? Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explained this in a step by step, not at every at one single go. At one step, he starts explaining about his own things, next step by step to Arjuna. That's for our self. And the third important point is that how much is the ability to digest? How much can we accept the truth? Because if suppose if I'll start going on saying many things, but you won't accept or won't digest it, there is no point of speaking those things. It's going to be useless, isn't it? So that is why, depending upon the ability of the persons to digest, how much consciousness is purified, that is all the scriptures reveals accordingly. And the third point, so the fourth point comes is that different scriptures are meant for different audience. It's again emphasizing on the same point, that how much we are purified and how much where we are. So we will understand it more. Let's see how it is. So when a child is there, maybe class 2 or primary 2 or primary 3, when you ask them to do a subtraction 5 to 2, they do it very easily. Okay, they will take out 5 fingers and then take out 3. They'll say answer is 3 now. If you ask them, okay, you do 7 minus 3, they can do it. Okay, I'll take out 7 fingers and they'll take out 3 fingers. So answer is 5 now, or 4, a similar way. But if you ask them, can you do 2 minus 5? They say, oh, are you joking with me? How it's possible? I can't take away 5 from 2. That's what I've been taught to us as of now. We have been taught that, okay, if you want to take something out, you draw some lines and then take away. So that remaining is your answer. But it's 2, how can I take 5 from it? That's called as elementary. Let's see next. But that child, when it goes to class 4th or 5 or maybe primary 7, he can easily say that, okay, 2 minus 5 is minus 3. Because now his consciousness is more developed. Now his understanding and learning has been more developed. So he could very easily have that, okay, 2 minus 5 is minus 3. But for that person, for the child, if you say, can you solve an integration, differentiation? He will say, what is this? I haven't heard of this. Are you joking with me again? Isn't it? But when the person goes to college, he could say that, okay, there is a function, integration is there, differentiation is there, this limit is there, and then the consciousness of the person goes more elaborately. If you ask him 2 minus 5, he can easily say, oh, it is minus 3. Nothing to worry. Even he won't ask you that it's wrong or you are joking with me. He said directly say, okay, it's minus 3. In a similar way, when the consciousness goes higher and higher and higher, the things get more revealed to us in that fashion. Right? Let's see what happens to the things. So even the restriction in Islam, it's being said all animals, you can eat all animals except pig and dog can be eaten after sacrifice. It means what? If you want to eat animals, you can eat it, but not pig and dog. So why is there a differentiation? There is some restrictions in there. And that also it says you should be eating after sacrifice. So we all know that Islamic people, they always do halal and eat it. So because of these three things, elementary or high school or college, the things has been revealed to them. Right? Even Prophet Muhammad has to go away from Makkah because of he was teaching something to the students about a God. Because of threat of his life, he has to go away from that. Because consciousness was not so evolved. And in I'm not sure if that's in slide or not, but it's been also said that in Islamic that you should not be having sex with your mother and sister. So if you see this line, let's suppose if Krishna speaks this line to Arjuna, you should not be having sex with your mother or sister. Then Arjuna said, what are you talking about? Because the consciousness of Arjuna is so high that this is all false thing for him. But that has been said in Quran because of these different levels. And in Christianity, it being said the Roman Catholics take meat every day except Friday. So these are again exception comes up here. There is some limitation. If you are taking every day, what's wrong with Friday? Something is there that's not being revealed, but because of people wanted to have these things, wanted to take these things, so there are some exceptions given over there. However, the Sanatana Dharma, I will speak Sanatana Dharma later part. The Sanatana Dharma says that meat eating is a pillar of sinful life, and true spiritual life cannot begin if we do not show mercy towards all God's creatures. That's what Sanatana Dharma says. So Sanatana Dharma is the higher Dharma. Why? We'll see it. So that says because if you eat meat, it actually corresponds to the showing mercy for the creation of gods. Right. So as we understood things, because of the consciousness and the purity of consciousness and times and circumstances, the revelation of truth is being deprecated. So it's been compared as we have one religion called a small pocket dictionary, and we have one Oxford big dictionary. So in a small pocket dictionary, you could find many your useful words, right? Your daily using words, you can find it. But however, there are complicated words which you can't find in your pocket dictionary. It doesn't mean that pocket dictionary is wrong. Pocket dictionary can be thrown away. Getting a point. As I said earlier in the very start, that no religion is wrong. Everything is bona fide. That is it is how it's proved is. The pocket dictionary is actually correct, but it has a limitation. It gives us some small vocabulary things, but not elaborately or not everything. But when you go into the Oxford bigger dictionary, we find everything there. Everything is written there. It doesn't mean that the pocket dictionary is wrong. But I hope I managed to make you understand that what we are discussing about today. It's very, very important topic to understand it. What the problem is? The problem is that different religions have the same message. Even the Oxford dictionary, the bigger one, contains all the small words of pocket dictionary, but elaborate more as well. It got more content in that, rather than just having small, valuable or daily usage words. All right. So the thing is that as we go more, the revelation of truth comes us more into more. As I discussed about examples, as the friendship becomes more and more the new friend, we'll start talking more and more, discussing more about our daily life and so on. So in India, if you see, Sripad Madhvacharya and Sripad Ramanacharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have been Tukaram Maharaj, or you can take any other examples in India, they have been there in different parts of India. However, the realizations has been so much that they concluded the same thing, that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Even Sripad Madhvacharya told the same thing, even Ramanacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even Tukaram Maharaj, east, west, north, south, wherever he goes, they speak the same thing, that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. How it happens? It happens because they have been meditating, or the consciousness is so purified and they are so higher that they have been revealed the same thing without depending upon where they are. Right now, maybe we can say, okay, we have, WhatsApp or Facebook, so we can communicate and, okay, come to the conclusion that, okay, we have to speak the same thing so that people understand it. But at that time, there was no communication. Still, the people, or the great sages, they spoke the same thing, saying that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Right? This is the actually, because the consciousness was higher, the consciousness was more purified, and they have the more ability to grasp, or they are understand the truth, so it's being revealed to them. So that is how we concluded the first part of today's. That was a bit longer, and we will go to the different platform of worship. How people worship in a different way. Right. Before going to that, I would say one more thing. Okay, maybe different one. Later on. So we'll understand about different platform of worship. Why we worship in a different way. And this topic is actually elaborately spoken by Krishna in chapter number 7, but we'll try to understand a bit later. Just 1 second. So the first one is fear. We approach to worship to God because of fear. Second comes is the desire. Fear, I'm not sure how much you could relate it, but I could relate to myself very well. When we were in, normally not in school, but in colleges, when we have final results of maybe matriculation or intermediate or studies, we used to go to a temple and begging for the mercy of Lord, please make us pass. I will be giving you 11 rupees or one coconut or all these things. That's because of fear. We had a fear for failing the exam, so we wanted to approach Lord to get the result. And once we get the result, we forget everything. So that is how, because of fear, we approach it. The second way is the desire. When we want something, higher thing, we approach to Him. Right. And the third is the duty. Duty means, we think that, okay, because the Supreme Being actually providing us everything, so let me, as a duty, offer or worship Him. It's being understood like, see, imagine it, a human being cannot live without air. We can't live without air. We have to breathe. We can't live without water. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I'm the taste of water. So any liquid thing you see that actually has to be mixed with water, then only it can become liquid. Else it cannot. That is the thing. That's the water. Right. So the duty is that, okay, The air, no one is giving air but Lord. So let me, as a duty, give something to him, offer something, some prayer to him, offer worship to him, give donation to him. That is the duty. Okay. Sunlight. We can't live without sunlight. Even the moonlight as well. Krishna says, the moonlight and sunlight are from me only. So that is, as a person understand it more and more, by duty, start praying it. So fear is the lower level. Next comes the desire, the higher level. There's no fear, but I want some wealth. So I approach you. Please fulfill my desire. As in scriptures in the Vedas, it is being said many karmakandas ways by which we can do some sacrifices, fire sacrifices, or giving donations, which actually fulfills our desires. So we approach there, we do it and get it. However, the topmost one is called as love. So when we have love, we get everything. We love our parent, we get everything from our parent. There's no need to ask them. We don't have to ask our parent, okay, whatever is needed, they provide us. Right. So these are the levels of how we worship and ascending to the ultimate religion of the pure love of God. So it grows from one level to another level. From fear. So what happens normally when the fear we approach worship God, we get it, we have some belief. Then that belief goes more and more. So we start going with them and then have some desire and then duty. And later on, we understand, okay, actually he's fulfilling all of my desire. So let's start loving him. That's a gradual process of going towards him. Right. So the third section is called as Sanatan Dharma. As we discussed, there are dharmas, the Christianity, Hinduism, Islamism, and then we are talking about more about Sanatan Dharma. We have a misconception about that the Hinduism is actually Sanatan Dharma, or sometimes we say that Sanatan Dharma is a Hinduism, but there's a gap. We will discuss it in our next session. But the Sanatan Dharma, let's see. So what Dharma means? Dharma does not mean religion. Dharma is basically what? It's the quality of a substance which is inseparable by its existence. What does that mean? Quality of a substance. Water. Isn't it? The substance of water is what? Liquidity. Right. A similar way, quality of sugar is what? To be sweet. If you take out sweet from sugar, we won't say it's sugar anymore. Similarly, salt, the nature, maybe more proper, maybe you can say quality from, let's to understand its nature. The nature of salt is salty. If we take out salty from salt, we won't say it's salt. In a similar way, we take out sweet from the sugar, we won't say it's sugar. And scripture's advice, or he says this, that it says Divera Sarupe Nitya Krishna Das. It means what? The living entity. We have understood in our previous session that we are not this body, we are the soul. We are the Jiva. Jiva Sarup. The quality of the Jiva is what? Nitya Krishna Das. To become a servant of Krishna. So that is our actually Dharma. Become a servant of Krishna. Right. So, and that is called as Sanatan Dharma. And Sanatan means what? Sanatan means there is no beginning, there is no end. It has been existed in our past, it's existing in the present, and it will exist in the future as well. So there is no beginning and no end. That's called Sanatana. Dharma means what? Those both is Sanatan Dharma means we are actually a servant of Krishna from time immemorial, and we will be doing the same thing for future as well. That is the definition of Sanatan Dharma. That we are the servant of God. Or if you understand God in different way, in any way also, we are the servant of Him. Actually, very honest, we are actually servant at every stages. We might think that we are the boss, but we are servant. Imagine a small family. having his wife and kids, and the person is earning money. So what he thinks that actually I'm earning money. That's why my family is actually as a subordinate to me. I'm controlling the family. But the truth is, I'm not controlling. I'm serving them. They, my wife, wife remains at home. Kids remains go to school. They enjoy. We work hard, get money, and serve them. Okay, I'll say, okay, daddy, I need some new shoes. There comes up that. So I'm his servant. I'll go to the shop and get the shoes. So the important point is we are servant at every stage, but if we can understand that we need to serve Krishna, that will be the ultimate one. Otherwise, we will be serving our whole family, relatives, nation, society. Apart from that, we have to serve Krishna as well. That is called it Sanatana Dharma. I hope I managed to explain it because it's a very vast thing and we have limited time. So let's see what next. So Sanatana Dharma, when did it came? It came from dawn of creation. As when creation happened of this universe, the Sanatana Dharma came up. Because this dharma was given to Brahma by Lord himself, how to create this, and all knowledge to him only. And it means there is, even in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 4, Krishna says that I have given this knowledge to sun god Vivaswan. That is nearly, I think, 12 crore years ago. Just imagine it, 1200 millions crores years ago. And Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna 5,000 years back. And there Krishna said that this knowledge was given to Arjuna earlier, but you have forgotten it, so I'm now giving it again via you. This knowledge was given to sun god Vivaswan long back, and it's again I'm giving to you. And these two are actually from Sanatana Dharma. And even in Bhagavad Gita, there is nowhere it's been talked about in religion, because it's not a religious book. It's a book for mankind. It teaches us how can we live our life and how can we realize our own self. How can we know who Krishna Supreme Person is? How can we know the relationship between the Supreme and our own self? And how can we go back to Godhead? It's like, lost child. I was giving an example earlier, maybe the same thing. So if someone is a child of a millionaire and he has lost his parents and is struggling in the streets, someone might give some food to eat him, but that's not fully satisfied, because after 4 hours you are hungry again. Someone might give you something to sleep, that will turn up. Someone might give you some clothes, but how long? But if somehow other person comes up and he says, actually, I know you, child, I know you very well. I know your father. Let me take you back to your father. So if the child has been taken back to his father, the child has got everything. He don't have to worry for food now, because as time comes up, his mother gonna serve him. He don't have to worry about sleeping. He don't need any sleeping mats or sleeping bags. He can sleep in a very luxurious bed because his father is millionaire. So once he is back there, every problem is solved. But before it, as he was lost in the market, he was suffering. He doesn't have any food. He has to beg for the food and sleep and everything else. That is how the spiritual world is. Once we are back there, there is no more misery, no more birth, no more death, and no more old age. But here, it's all there. And then the Buddhism came nearly 1,500 years back, where in Lord Buddha explains about meditation and these things. And Christianity is just 2,000 years old. Islam is 1,400 years old. And below this comes up, our Jainism and other things. These are how religions comes up. I've just taken the 4 or 5 important ones make you understand that how old these are and why this has been less is being revealed there. Because it's Kali. As Kali goes on, we are always going away from the spirituality. That is why the revelations goes lower, lower, lower. Okay. And then let's see about the essential principles of all religion. So the first essential point is that God is one and love of God. And you have to love the God, right? And the second is that it is being said, obeys God laws. In everywhere it is being said, obey the Lord's God. Then service to God. We have to be serving to Him. Return to the kingdom of God. It's being said that we have to return to go back to Godhead. And we may say, okay, I need to go to Jannat, or I need to go to heaven, or I need to go to back to Godhead. These are nearly one of the same, but the conclusion is that everyone says we have to go to back to Godhead. And then everyone says that we should not be doing more sin. And we I think on this point we discussed earlier about every religion says about chanting the holy name, glorifying the names of Lord, whatever religion we are following. In our Sanatana Dharma, as Kali Upanishad, Kali Santarana Upanishad says, we need to chant holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, by which actually we will realize our self and realize our God as well. And then everywhere it's being said some sacrifices and renunciation of material pleasure. We should not be always hankering for that. There should be something sacrificing is there needed. And then everywhere says we need to approach a spiritual master. By approaching spiritual master, the spiritual master actually enlightens the knowledge in our heart because he has seen the truth, so he enlightens us in that way. So now, interesting point. So as we came onto that, we discussed that, okay, someone says, okay, the messenger of God. Someone says, I am a son of God. Someone says, I am prophet of God. But who is God? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am God. Let's see. So Jesus Christ, he proclaimed to be the Son of God, right? Muhammad prophet says he was a prophet of God. And Moses, he said he was a messenger of God. Guru Nanak, well-known spiritual master, he says he also regarded as a spiritual teacher. Lord Buddha taught us about meditation and renunciation. Mahavir Jain actually was a liberated and a perfected soul. But interesting thing is that no one claimed to be God. In India, if you see, in every nook and corner, you can see someone's claiming to be God. But the point is, no one claimed to be God. No one says, I am God. Everyone says that I am either son, or I am the messenger, or I am a servant, or I'm the teacher, but no one says that I am God. So, who God is? Let's see. God is Krishna. And why do we worship him? It's called Bhagavana, means Bhaga means the 6 opulences, and Van means the one which possesses. Bhagavana means the possessor of 6 opulences. What are the 6 opulences? Let's see. It being in Vishnu Purana, it being said, Ashwarasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashasya, Shriya, Jnanam, Vairagyasya, Jnanam, Bhoga, Lingana. What does that mean? First, it says wealth. It means what? He is actually has complete wealth. No one in this world can claim that I have all the wealth. But Krishna can claim it because he is called as Lakshmipati. And in Brahma Samhita says, thousands of Lakshmi are actually serving his lotus feet. So he is and claim that he is the wealthier. The first opulence is called as wealth. Second says strength. Maybe Mr. World for a couple of years, but the next time we are going to be replaced by someone else. We can't be strength as all the time, or we cannot be claimed to be the strength of this whole world all the time. But Krishna says that I am the strength, I am the strongest one in this whole universe, and I remain there. He's called as Achyuta. Achyuta means infallible. He doesn't fail in it. He's always remains strength. Just imagine at his 7 years of age, with his left hand, a small finger, pinky finger, he could lift Govardhan Hill for 7 days. Can we imagine how much strength it needed? That's how it's proved that actually I have the strength. So this is the second opulent. So we're discussing about six opulences of Bhagavan. One is the wealth, and second is the strength. The third is fame. He is the most famous personality in this universe. And the fourth is beauty. He is the most beautiful person. Being said, his lotus face. His lotus face. By seeing the lotus face, all the persons are getting elevated as well to a higher consciousness. These are the four things of now: wealth, strength, fame, beauty, and knowledge. He is the blissful. He has the full knowledge. With Anand. It means knowledge. He has a complete knowledge. And that's why he's giving the knowledge to Arjuna. The last one is always renunciation. So he can be renunciated as well. He doesn't have to do anything. He can become a chariot driver of Arjuna. So much renunciation. At one point he's saying that I'm the God, I'm the superior person, but at the second time he's actually being a chariot driver. Being said the chariot driver is actually a low born people. They used to do chariot driving, but Krishna can become that as well. It means what? He doesn't care about his opulences. At the same time, he is the most opulent one as well. Right. And to prove all these points, we'll quickly go to some of the slides from Bhagavad Gita and see it how it is. So, who is the person behind the gigantic manifestation? We see the all universes, right? The moon, earth, sun, Saturn, planet, all these things. Who is the one? That is what little Krishna. Right. Krishna instructs what he says. He says in chapter 10, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matah sarvatam sarva pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava mavita. I am the source of all spiritual and material world. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly knows this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. And in chapter 9, Krishna says, Prakratim Savamastabhya Vikshudhyami Puna Puna Bhuta Grama Mim Kutsavasam Prakriti Vashartaha. He says, the whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again, and under my will, it is annihilated at the end. Just imagine. He's saying that, everything is done by me again and again. Then in chapter 10, again he says, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being, moving, or non-being that can exist without me. So it means, again, it says, we cannot exist without him. How? Is at every living entity, a super soul is present with us. And super soul is one way of realizing Krishna, or the Supreme Being. Then again, in 9th chapter, Krishna says, Maya Dakshina Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam Etu Nanena Kaunteya Jagat Dvipari Vartate. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, pushing all moving and non-moving beings under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Right. Chapter 15, Krishna says about, I enter into each planet and my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. This verse explains that how all the vegetables they get juices, or how they get grow just because of moonlight. Gama vishya bhutani dharayatmato hamoj saja jatsa pushpani chastati sarva somo bhutva rasatmaka. And then Krishna says about, know that all the opulent, beautiful, glorious creations spring but a spark of my splendor. Just imagine what he's saying. He's saying, whatever we see here, the nature, the cosmic, the sun, the moon, the planets, the beautiful scenic Scotland, everything, what he's saying, it's just a spark of my splendor. Imagine it, how much it would be. It's just a spark. It's not whole fire, it's just a spark of that fire. And then Krishna says in chapter 11, he says, the greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you there before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into the cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. Here, Arjuna requesting Krishna to show him his Virata Rupa, universal form. And even Lord Krishna has shown his universal form to Mother Yashoda earlier in his child pastimes. There Lord Krishna showed when actually the pastime was he was eating actually mud, and then the friend they complained that Mother Yashoda, Krishna is eating mud, and then when Mother Yashoda wanted to say his, then Krishna opened his mouth and says everything, the whole universe within his belly. That is how Krishna is. And in chapter 10 again it's being said, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, Param Brahma, Param Dhamam, Param Bhavam, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are eternal, transcendental, original person, unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa confirm this truth about you. And now you are yourself declaring it to me. So that is how Krishna explained and said that, okay, I am the supreme. This verse, it's not only Arjuna saying, okay, because I'm a devotee, I surrender you, I accept what you say. Not only just him, it being said the great transcendental persons like Narada, Ashita, Devala, and Vyasa, they all have confirmed the same and you have shown me the same thing as well. Right? It's not just one person saying okay, but actually everyone saying the same thing. And even in Brahma Samhita, it being said, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Nadir Adi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Lord Brahma saying, Krishna, who is known as the Govinda, the supreme Godhead, he has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all and he has no other origin, and he is the prime cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karana. Everything. Even Krishna says, Maya Adakshena Prakriti Suyata Sacharacharam. This whole cosmos, whatever we see, the living or non-living, actually being controlled by him. Maya Adakshena, by his control, everything is happening. Even Lord Shiva says, like describes to Mother Parvati, he says, Shri Rama Rama Ramati, Ramo Rame Mano Rame. Jasta Nama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane. Lord Shiva saying that, okay, when you take the holy name, it's actually the bliss. And Lord Shiva is actually a great Vaishnava, a devotee of Lord Krishna. In Bhagavatam it says, Na Vaishnavamita Shambhu. And in that verse is explained that from all the rivers, Gananam Yatha Ganga, all the rivers, the river Ganga is actually the supreme or the highest. And then Gananam Yatha Ganga Devanam Achyuta Yatha. And from Lord, from God, Devanam Achyuta Yatha. Achyuta means Krishna, he is the supreme. And Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambhu. So from all the Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva is the topmost. And Purananam Idam Tatha. So from all the Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost one. If you want to read Puranas, the best is to read Srimad Bhagavatam. If you want to read Bhagavad Gita, the best one to read is, if you want to read the Upanishad, the best to read is Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is said as Gita Upanishad as well. Okay, I think we are just finishing with 5 more minutes, I guess so. And Srimad Bhagavatam again explains about all the incarnations and the Krishna. He says, Ete chamsa kalapamsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Loki Madhyanti Yuge Yuge. All of the ever mentioned incarnations, their incarnations are either the planetary portion or portions of the planetary portions of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna, the original complete supreme personality of Godhead. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam says. So this part we discussed earlier, and the same, going back to the same point, that all the great sages, they came up with this final confirmation of truth that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Even Sripad Shankaracharya, he gives nice 7 verses on the glorification of Bhagavad Gita. That is, he says, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantra Tasya Nama Niyani, Karmani Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva. This is the 7th Gita Mahatma, but he has given 6 more of 7 verses. What he says, let there be one common script for the whole world, that is Bhagavad Gita. Let there be God for whole world, that's Sri Krishna, and one hymns, one mantra, one prayer, the chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And let there be one work only, that is called a service to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here I end this session. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask anything you want to discuss, or if you want to discuss later on, my phone number is there, or you have my WhatsApp number. You can ping me anytime, and we can discuss it. And before ending next session, continuing to this, we'll understand more about who God is, and we'll understand more about Devi Devatas. As in India, we see 33 crores Devi Devata. So we will elaborate, understand this. And just as a conclusion, as we discussed, the Bhagavad Gita is actually coming from 5 years back and giving the knowledge of Sanatana Dharma. We understood about Sanatana Dharma. And then we also understood about other religion, mostly the most about Christianity, what says, about Islam, what says, and other religions as well. So this is how I end today's topic. I hope it give you some valuable information. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, or we can discuss.
I just want to know that I accept the religions. I mean, like there are, but why there are so many religions? Why they have been created? I mean,
so that is what we discussed. Why it is because of the consciousness, because we cannot accept everything, because of the ability to understand the things. The consciousness of or purity of people are less. That is why the scriptures has been kind of changed accordingly to the people, depending on the people of how they accept it. Because if I say you something, if you don't have the capacity to grasp it, understand it, won't take it. As if like the example we took, what a student of class 2 can't understand or solve the arithmetic problem of knowledge. When the higher consciousness goes on, you understand it. So when Krishna gave this Bhagavad Gita, the consciousness was so higher. And that's why it's 5,000 years old and it gave everything. The consciousness of we, as it goes on, is going down and down. As the consciousness is going down and down, so we can't understand everything. That's why it's being, as you see, Jesus Christ says in Bible, I wanted to give you many more things, but you won't be able to bear it. Imagine, just because of getting some knowledge about God, Jesus Christ was hanged up alive. Imagine it.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is the thing, because our consciousness are going down and down. That is why the knowledge has been separated apart.
So is the world is moving toward the destruction, as says God creates the world and destroy it?
Yeah, definitely, because this is Kali Yuga, and this is the 4 yugas: Sati Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Kali Yuga. As Kali Yuga comes up, it ends, and we start again. Sati Yuga comes back. So this is called as Iron Age. We won't understand anything. Earlier ages, in the 3 more past ages, there was no need of scriptures. They could hear the logic and they understand it and remember it properly. But as we have downgraded our capacity of mind, we need notepad, we need books to read again and again, understand it. Right? Because our consciousness is going lower. If our consciousness goes higher, then definitely we can surrender to one God called as Krishna. The last slide.
So by this consciousness, what we mean is like our experiences with the God is getting lesser, because as per the intelligence we are actually improving, but our contact with the God is getting lesser by lesser every time.
Yes. See, we discussed about the real problem, right? So I'll give an example of small example today. The coronavirus. How advanced we are now with technology. Imagine it. Every second day we are having a new phones, new this and that, everything. Science has gone from satellite to here and there. We say we have advanced a lot. However, a small virus, even it's not living one, and its weight is nearly very, very less, that can disturb the whole economy, whole situation of whole world, not only just one place. So by advancing to a technology, I'm not saying that's bad. By advancing to technology, we're actually going away from scriptures. We are going away from the God. So if we don't associate with the scriptures or with God, then how will we be able to know it?
Yeah, okay.
That is your point. That answers your questions?
Yeah, that's.
Any more questions or any comments or any suggestions? Okay, so Alistair was joined, he left now. He sent a message saying, okay, there was a very nice and comprehensive lecture, very nice association to Hare Krishna. Thanks to him. Okay. Ashish, may I know, I think you have joined for the first time, I guess so.
Second time.
Hello? Second time?
Second time.
All right, okay. So you are on the which WhatsApp group?
I am on this ISKCON Scotland WhatsApp group.
Oh, Prabhu, I remember, okay.
Okay, Prabhu. Yes.